Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 335. So, yesterday we had our quarterly meeting. I was here in Atlanta, but the rest of the team is in Chicago for Tiege Hanley. I didn't go because, if I'm being honest, I'm still trying to be as safe as possible with my mother-in-law and not get like COVID. Because if my wife or I get COVID, we can't go in. Like, we can't go into the facility for however long we're not allowed. And the problem with that is that we go every day. I haven't talked about my mother-in-law in a while, but we moved her to a new facility and things got weird. And it's just sad. Like the disease has progressed. She's in a wheelchair now because one of the things that happened the first, I guess it was 2 weeks she was there, she tried to with her walker get out of her door, and there was a closer, and she fell and busted her head open. In the first, 3 weeks, the ambulance was called 3 times just for her, and then we found out that she was falling all the time. We didn't know because the last place she was at didn't tell us. Anyway, all of that to say, she's also gotten real combative and angry and upset. She's really, for all intents and purposes, lost the ability to communicate verbally, but now she hates everybody and tries to punch people, and it's horrible, right? And so nobody so my wife and I are very diligent about, we basically alternate. I'll go one day, she'll go the next day. She actually has to go 3 times a week to help them bathe her because she's the only one that the woman or her mother won't get all crazy with. Anyway, so enough about that. But anyway, I didn't go to Chicago because, like I said, we're still trying to, keep it kind of low key. And because of this obligation, like I said, anyway, it's a shitty situation. Don't get old and don't get dementia. That's my only advice to you. But we had a meeting yesterday and it was amazing. I don't feel like I've ever in the past, I guess probably we're 5 years now we've been doing Tiege Hanley, and I've never really felt as positive in terms of our growth, in terms of our trajectory, in terms of our business, in terms of our profitability, in terms of the future of Tiege Hanley like I am now. At the end of last year, it was kind of tough, right? Our expenses were super high. We got those under control. We got some new people in. We lost some people, but we're kicking ass. And, Tom has come in. Josh has stepped up. Tom B is really doing an amazing job. Tree, our data analyst, is incredible. Andrew, everybody has really been stepping up. And we've got just an incredible team. And I really feel like we've never been better in terms of just a collaborative experience and a collaborative kind of sort of team approach. We also did something where we basically gave we gave equity to our team this past Christmas. And so everybody now kind of has skin in the game. And so it's really exciting to see people just take a new level of ownership and excitement and passion. And so we couldn't do it without our team, and that's kind of a takeaway. And so we wanted to make sure that everybody felt appreciated, and we wanted to make sure that everybody kind of had a little bit of skin in the game. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's do this as a team. It's more collaborative, like I said, now than ever before. There were times and some people that we had that it just wasn't the right fit. And so now we've got, I feel honestly, everybody is just really likes each other and really respects each other and just does an incredible job. And so anyway, great meeting, good things happening, and it's a really exciting time at Tiege Hanley. I think we're changing. We're changing things slowly, but we're also testing things fast. We're doing a lot of testing, a lot of acquisition testing, and we are really moving the needle in that department. And as you know, with any subscription business, it's all about acquisitions. It's about getting them and it's about keeping them. And the LTV, what is the long-term value of those customers? Because based on that, that will then tell you what your CPA or your customer acquisition cost, CAC, customer acquisition CAC, you get what I'm saying, needs to be or can be in order to acquire a customer and then have them be profitable. But there are things that you can do to increase sort of the LTV, like we came out with the face mask or the clay mask, right? amazing. Everybody is loving that product. People are grabbing it. People are using it. People are subscribing to it. And so that one product has just done an amazing thing in terms of our bottom line, right? And so anyway, lots of exciting things. Something else that I mentioned in last vlog that I just want to touch on before we get to some of your business questions. There were a lot of great business questions. If you've got one, down below, start it with business question and ask your question. So last vlog, I told you that I was going to dinner. There was a guy that founded this company. It's an influencer like credit card called Carrot. So I had a call with him. I'm like, no, I'm not really interested. He's like, let's go to dinner. I'm going to be in Atlanta. I talked to him on a Wednesday. He let me know Wednesday night, hey, I'm going to be in Atlanta. I'm going to take you to dinner tomorrow night. So I'm like, okay. And so I am a firm believer now that I need to push myself a little bit, right? I talked about that a few vlogs ago with the Alex Hormozi, Grant Cardone's thing. I need to push myself, I feel, a little bit more and push myself outside of my comfort zone. I get very tunnel vision, right? I do my thing every day. I have my routine. It works for me and it allows me to be productive. But one thing that I feel like I lack is sort of getting out there and talking and communicating and connecting with super smart people or just people that are different or doing different things. And so this was an opportunity for me to meet him and to talk. They raised $50 million for this card. And that's okay. So let me back up a second, because really, there's still apparently money out there that is willing to take a big risk, big risk. So anyway, so I go down to this restaurant. It's called Bacchanalia. Great, foodie restaurant. I'm not a foodie though. I like steak. I like meat. I like portions. This was a 3.5 hour long dinner. Just he and I. It was coursed, right? You get your one course. It's a little tiny small plate, like this little tiny bite of like cheddar something or other. It's like, okay, that was good, all right? But the funny thing is that after 3.5 hours, I wasn't even hungry, even though I didn't really get much food. Because it took so long, we also drank a really nice bottle of Barolo wine. Like he was bringing it strong. And so, really smart guy. His story kind of is real interesting. There are two of them that started the company. There's Will and his business partner. Will went to Stanford, and I don't know what he got his degree in. His business partner went to Harvard. They're two guys. They're just super smart, right? Super smart dudes. So Will tried a few things after college, did well, raised $5 million to invest in these little startups, and was like, wait a second, I'm not really feeling it. And so him and his business partner knew that this whole influencer world and economy was going to blow up, right? And so it was already blowing up because he now has been in this business, Carrot, or I should say it's been live for about 1.5 years. So it's fairly recently. But what they did differently than other people was really focus on the influencer community and economy. And so it was about providing financial assistance or services for influencers or creators that didn't have them before, right? Because for me, perfect example, when I tried or get a loan for this business, even though I had money in the bank, even though I had a track record of good tax returns, nobody would lend me money because they're like, you do what for a living? Now, this was 7 years ago or whatever, things have changed. But there are more people like that out there. And so their idea was, okay, we're going to provide a credit card and credit for these guys that are starting. Well, as we kind of pulled back and got more deep into kind of the nuance and the nitty gritty of the business, it's going to be a really challenging road for them. Very challenging. There is a lot, I would say there's a higher chance that they are not going to succeed than there is that they do succeed. Not to say that they're not smart, but they've got a lot of things to figure out. They haven't figured it out yet. The amount of people that are on the card, I don't think it's something that I should be talking about because I don't want to breach any confidentiality. The way they make money is 2%, right? 2% of the charges they get their money. It's like a startup, right? It's a tech. He kept calling it a Fintech, right? Financial technology, right? But he raised literally on a deck or as they call it, a deck, right? That's kind of like your pitch deck. He sent it to me prior to our meeting. And he's like, here's a deck that I used to raise $40 million. I'm like, I read it. I was like, where's the rest of it? Because I just didn't, like, I didn't get it, right? I am a pretty conservative dude when it comes to financing and investing. And the fact that they raised $40 million or $50 million on the buzzword of influencer economy, and the fact that it was in the financial industry, absolutely blew my mind. Like, and by blew my mind, I mean, I was like, this is insane. and by insane, I mean absolutely insane. Anyway, it's Antonio. Yo, what's happening? I'm filming a vlog. Can I call you back?
No.
Yes.
I'm going into a mastermind, so call me in like
Okay.
an hour and a half.
Okay, call me back later. Okay, bye. So, something exciting I forgot to tell you about. Antonio had his like 18th kid. I think it's like 5. Guess who the what is it, godfather is of Marino Centeno? Yeah, that's right, me. He asked me, he called me, he's like, hey, you want to be a godfather? I might have told you this. And I feel like it's such a huge honor. That is going to be one spoiled ass little goddaughter, because my wife and I already like got her some stuff. We sent her like all these little onesies and a little rose gold bracelet with her name engraved inside. It's like this big, right? Really tiny and cute. Unfortunately, we spelled the name wrong because we spelled it like Americans, and it's Ukrainian. And so anyway, but super excited about that. So anyway, the only way this company succeeds is if it goes public. Like, and that's the goal. In like 3 years, they're gonna like take it public. Based on everything I saw, based on all the numbers that he told me, and he was very, very transparent with me, and I was fairly transparent with him. Not fairly, I was transparent with him. Wow. And so, wow. I am not gonna be using the carrot card, but I wish him incredible success and luck, but it's a tough one. It's tough, you know, to make something successful in that scale. And once again, once you raise money, right, it's kind of like not your company anymore. Unbelievable, because here's the other part of that. Tiege Hanley, we started kind of feeling around last year, right, in terms of raising money. We decided to pull back and say, no, it's not the right time. We need to fix some of the fundamental things that we need to fix before we do. But I know like what the valuation is of Tiege Hanley. And I know what we're doing on a monthly reoccurring revenue basis. And I'm talking like a lot of money. And the valuations that we were getting, it was nowhere near what they're getting on nothing, an idea, on Fintech. Boom. Anywho, super charming dude. They've got a lot of big plans. And it was nice to go out to dinner and talk to somebody who was very smart. He actually emailed me the other day, yesterday, and was like, hey, I got a book I wanted to send you. I didn't tell him that. Sending me books is like, I don't know. I don't read, as I've told you. But anyway, I'll tell you what the book is when I get it. Apparently it's inspiring. So anyway, on that note, do you guys get Hulu? What's her name? The woman who did Theranos. What's her name? The woman who, what is the Theranos? What is her? Elizabeth Theranos. Elizabeth Holmes. Okay. Did you guys watch that series on Hulu? It was amazing. Amazing. But once again, that's kind of like, it's this hype train, right? You get a few really strategic people behind you, a great idea. Unfortunately, and I don't think when like Elizabeth Holmes, she didn't start off to defraud investors or anything. She had something she wanted to do. Unfortunately, her idea, which she was blinded by to some degree, it literally could not be done. The technology had not caught up to what she wanted to do. And that's, I guess, where the problem therein lied, is that it just wasn't possible to do all these tests accurately on a really, really, really small amount of blood. And she kind of died on that sword. And so, but do I think that she started the company? No, I think she was like driven and wanted to be successful. But anyway, very interesting. And that's another one where, people will throw money at the idea and somebody who's charismatic just because they're charismatic and have a good idea without sound financial business planning or track record. behind it, which is amazing to me. It's amazing to me because that's not how I roll. But to say that there's still dumb money out there if you need it and want to start a business, apparently. Our next business question, or I should say our first business question, comes from our friend Buddy. He says, I'm turning 18 in a few months, and I wanted to know how much experience I should get in the full-time market before I try owning my own business. I've always wanted to own my own business, but don't want to try prematurely. I've worked various jobs as young as 12 for extra cash, worked 2 years for a professional company part-time, and now approaching another 2 years with a multi-million-dollar company part-time. I've taken entrepreneurship classes and created my own business plan and learned the ins and outs of business, but by no means am I an expert yet. Thanks for your time. So buddy, this is a great question. I think you're on the right track. You're doing everything that you should be doing, right? You're young though. And so working part-time for a multi-million-dollar company, this is great. But what I'd say is if it was in the area that you want to start your business, it might be beneficial for you to kind of get your feet wet or to get your hands dirty in a more targeted area. Even if you've got to take a job that's a little bit lower, right? In terms of your abilities or whatever. How old are you? You're 18, so you haven't gone to like college yet. I think it's something that you need to get more experience. Start saving your money. There's no reason to rush things. You're young, but I know that a lot of times you're like, all right, I'm ready. If you've got everything ready, got a great business plan, what is it going to take? What is the next logical step? Experience is great, but if you're not getting experience in something that's going to provide value to you or your business or your entrepreneurial journey, that's one thing. For me, I went to college. I went to college to get the foundations and the fundamentals of business. I have a business management degree, a minor in marketing, another minor in community health promotion. And so for me, college was kind of like a logical step. Now, do you need to go to college? I don't think it's for most people, or I shouldn't say for most people. It's not for everybody. But for me, it was valuable. It was valuable to kind of get in there and learn from other people and learn some of the basics of the different skills that you're going to need in order to run a business. Marketing, that's the big one. Understanding cash flow, another big one. Understanding, how to deal with people and employees. Like, it's important to get that foundation and fundamentals behind you or underneath you, but it's also equally as important to get experience. Once again, tie it back to Elizabeth Holmes. She had zero experience in, healthcare or in what she was trying to do. She just had an idea and like, I'm going to do this. And then she met, some people, helped her raise money and yeah, let's do this. But she didn't have the experience she needed in order to know that that idea wasn't actually viable and you needed to go a different direction. If she had, she probably would have been like, all right, I got to fix things or I got to change things or, whatever. She didn't also listen to smart people that told her, yo, you shouldn't be doing this. You have no experience. You didn't even, Anyway, enough about that. You should watch that documentary. Or not docu-series-ish kind of thing on Hulu. Amazing. Really, really good. Weird. Anyway, what the hell was I saying? So what I'd recommend is get some more experience. You're not ready yet, in my opinion. Maybe you are, and you'll know when the time is right. I would hate for you, though, to try prematurely, not succeed, and think, oh, crap, I shouldn't have done this and it was a bad idea. Is it a bad idea or is the timing not right? Also, being in a financial position where you can endure starting a business, because at 18, you've worked some part-time jobs. Unless you're independently wealthy, how are you going to support yourself while you're trying to get something off the ground? Friends and family, money, do you really want to do that yet? Because it's hard to go to Christmas dinner if your parents have given you $10,000 or your friends have given you money and you squander it. It's hard to do. I know because I had a friend who invested in one of my fitness business. It was called Move It at the time. We were trying to expand it anyway. He invested $25,000 and we went bankrupt, and having to make that call, I lost your money, was horrible. Now that I'm successful, I paid him back because that's the kind of dude I am, apparently. But yeah, I would say take your time. There's no need to rush it. Don't do anything prematurely. Educate yourself before you take the jump, if you want. If not, that's okay too. The next business question is let's try that again. Hang on, I know it's wrong. Sup, Luke? Luke Spencer has a question. He says, hey, Aaron, your video this week talking about wills and trusts got me thinking. I'm a tax accountant. Ooh, that sounds horrible. That does sound horrible. I know there are people that want to do it, right? Luke, that's amazing. I'm a tax accountant, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what is important to you when it comes to choosing outside partners like accountants or lawyers that play an important role in your business, but aren't necessarily part of the day-to-day operations. Great freaking question, Luke. And this is definitely something that as your business evolves, as you grow, you're going to need to start bringing in people, right? The experts, right? Attorneys, insurance agents, another one, accountants. And so for me, when I brought my accountant in, it was a referral. I had a friend doing my taxes up until the time I made probably like $100,000, right? And then once I did that, I was like, hey, I went to my friend who, knew somebody. And so I hired him. And over the years, he has kind of evolved and grown with me. Now we have learned, and I actually had him on this channel, Keith. We have learned together. There was one conversation I had with him where I was screaming from the top of my lungs because he basically cost me $60,000 one year because he didn't know about something that I could set up. Now for me, I need somebody that I can call, right? I like having access to somebody. For me, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel better. Like literally, if I called up, actually, let me see. I'm gonna prove myself wrong. I'm gonna look like an idiot, right? Keith, hang on. Ready? 1 second. I'm calling him right. Let's see. Let's see if I'm on. Let's see. Is he gonna answer? It's tax season, so I just paid my taxes.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice message.
Normally he picks up. He's like, hey, Aaron, what do you need? Anyway, I like having access to somebody. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good that I can call. He also, now like has handled a bunch of different like businesses, and he understands kind of like the inner workings. And my taxes are weird and they're really hard and convoluted. I've got all these different entities. I've got umbrella companies. I've got 401ks that I set up for me, my family. I've got, employees. I got payroll. I've got like, I got a lot of weird stuff. I've got, Tiege Hanley, which is I'm a part owner, and I get a K1, and there's a lot. And so he has done a really great job of being flexible and growing with me. And he also now handles a lot of accounting for a lot of other entrepreneurs that I kind of have in my network. I'm like, he's a great dude. And he has kind of learned with me. And so for that, it was amazing. My dad recommended I go talk to this other accountant because everybody knows the guy, right? And he could save so much money in taxes. Have him come talk to me. Yeah, right. When I talked to him, and I'm like, I didn't get a good feeling. Keith, he's also Italian, like Altabelli. He's a great dude. So we connect on that level. My insurance agent, I have a lot of insurance, right? Well, for me, the problem, like for the reason why I'm with this guy Anderson now, who I've given all of my business to, is because he was the only person that I found that would actually insure the salon when it was a dilapidated building. Everybody else was like, no thanks, I don't want to touch this, I don't want to insure it. And he was like, yeah, I'll find a way, no problem. And so he was creative. And then he was good at sort of solving my problems in other areas. And so now I just give him all my business. And so I guess to answer your question, for me, it's a lot of just that personal connection and that feeling like I'm doing business with a friend or somebody that I could hang out with that also happens to know more about what I need them to know more about in the respective areas. Now, attorneys, I don't really have, great attorneys in terms of like, I don't have like my guy, right? Like I just call. I've got attorneys for different things, right? I've got an attorney that works on my trademark applications and stuff like that. I've got another attorney that handles, things with Tiege Hanley. I got another attorney that so I've got like multiple attorneys, but the attorney, they're also too expensive. If I call an attorney, they're going to charge me $250 for like 15 minutes. And so, anyway, I don't know if that answered your questions, but being good and looking to do more than just like, okay, your receipts, this is that. Get creative, be willing to sort of, figure things out a little bit more. And as the person grows, try to grow with them and be more than just a service, if that makes sense. The next business question comes from our friend Jacob Mundy. He says, as an entrepreneurial type of personality, high in extroversion and openers on the big five. I don't even know what that means. Openness? High on extroversion and openness on the big five. I'm assuming that's a test that I've not taken. Anyway, cool. I'm very good at coming up with business ideas and finding the optimism and motivation to start it. However, I struggle with developing and maintaining personal and business organizational systems that keep it going well. How can I and others like me remedy this flaw, particularly at the beginning stages when we cannot afford to hire assistants? You can't. In the beginning stages, if you can't afford to delegate, if you can't afford to give the things that you're not enjoying or the things that you're not good at away to other people, you've got to do them. And I've said this, one of my superpowers, it's not that I'm smarter than many people, right? I'm kind of a dumb guy. But what I have the ability to do is focus. I focus really hard and I get shit done when I need to get it done. And I have the ability to kind of focus when I am not getting rewarded, I'm not getting like pats on the backs, and I'm not getting thumbs up, which if you haven't, please drop it on this video. It will definitely help. But you got to figure out a way. You got to figure out a way in order to, if you want to get it done, here, okay, let me back up for a second. If you want it bad enough, you'll figure out a way. If you want it bad enough, you'll get good at it. Or I should say you'll get proficient enough until it's off the ground enough in order to be able to offload or delegate to the people that you bring in to help you. That's my answer. I would also just like to mention and acknowledge Ken Hicks. What's up, brother? Ken and I know each other. Ken, I miss you. He has a great comment on the last vlog where I talked about like death and wills and leaving things. And just so you know, Ken, I really appreciated and really resonated with your comment. I thought it was awesome. It was in last vlog if you guys care to go and read it. Anyway, what is the last business question? And by the way, wait, is that the last one? Hold on. Wait. Yep, there it is. Nope, hold on. I know the problem. The last business question comes from our friend Anthony Bolton. If I didn't get to your business question down below, start it or copy and paste, and I'll try to get some more next week. Maybe a weird question to post on a Tiege Hanley channel, but curious. Who does a better job with the body washes, Tiege or Pete and Pedro? Also, how do you handle that scenario? Two companies that you own, but that also compete with each other for share of the market. Does this ever cause friction with your investors or business partners? The answer is yes, it does, but we have kind of worked it out in the different areas. When Pete and Pedro started, it was hair product only, right? Tiege Hanley started, it was skincare only, like in terms of like your face. And then as the businesses have grown up, they both evolved. And every time there's kind of something that may cross into each other's kind of space, we discuss it, we talk about it, and we figure out, yes, this is okay, or no, this is not okay. Pete and Pedro will never sell skincare in terms of moisturizers or things of that nature for your face. It will never, ever do that because it's too close. But some of the other products, but Tiege Hanley, at this point, they haven't gone into hair care. Now, do I think that Tiege Hanley should come out with a shampoo, a conditioner, maybe a hair, yes, I think, and I would be totally good with that. It's a kind of weird dynamic, but there have been conversations about it, and we've worked it out to some degree, and we are going to continue to work it out because we are a business. But I understand that, Tiege Hanley is a great opportunity. My other business, great opportunity. And so for me, it's about doing things that are smart strategically that I don't feel are going to be a huge, because honestly, yes, they're, I guess, technically kind of competitors, but I don't view them as competitors of each other. I feel like, Tiege Hanley customers are going to be rocking with Tiege Hanley. They may cross over, buy some Pete and Pedro, and vice versa. Pete and Pedro customers are Pete and Pedro, but they also are probably buying Tiege Hanley. I think there's more crossover from Pete and Pedro to Tiege than there is Tiege back to Pete and Pedro, if that makes sense. In terms of who makes a better body wash, they're both amazing and they're different. and you're gonna love either one you choose. Speaking of loving, gentlemen, we love you more than our double monk strap shoes. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Oh, and for the record, Keith just got back to me, said, with a client. I said, never mind, I'm good. Later.